Okay, so what is this place about? This is the SCP Foundation, a collaborative writing site based around the premise that, in essence, magic is real. It's not exactly like the traditional fantasy style magic you've come to know, but that's the best nature as we know about them. Oops, I totally skipped the line. Oh my gosh. Shows you how great of a voice actress I am, right? But that's the best way we can describe the stuff we have here. Anomalies, items and critters that do not follow the rules of nature as we know them. Let's see. Oh, I see somebody's online. Hey, whoever you are, you should write something in the chat. Hi there. I don't know who you are, but say hello. I want to see your face. Um, But yeah, anomalies, items, and critters that do not follow the rules of nature as we know them. Staircases that go on forever, mechanical gods from the beginning of time, otherwise regular humans who reshape reality with their mind. These are the kind of things that, if known to the public, could cause mass hysteria and start wars on scales unprecedented. Due to that, there exists an organization called the SCP Foundation, Secure, Contain, Protect, whose job is to research paranormal activity, keep these creatures and objects concealed from the public, and protect humanity from the horrors of the dark. That's the long and short of it. This site is a place where a bunch of different people write stories about an organization that keeps the inexplicable under lock and key. Except, instead of just calling it magic, we use sciencey terms like ontokinesis and thaumatology. The wiki started as a horror slash creepypasta site, so the majority of the older content is focused around that. But since we've expanded our horizons, and nowadays you can find any type of writing you'd want, from novella length adventures to one line jokes. So, yeah, that is a very detailed description of what the SCP is, and if you still don't understand it, it's just essentially, this website is a forum where people are writing stories about weird entities or anomalies that this fake foundation is protecting the public from. It's so funny because sometimes I am very gullible and fall for absolutely anything. I totally thought this was real when I first heard of it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is some mass conspiracy. This is some, I don't know. This is some, holy crap, how did people infiltrate the CIA to get this stuff? And oh my gosh, I wonder how many people died to get this information out there. Not really. I pretty much figured that it was fake, but I kind of, for like half a second, thought that this might be genuine because they're so well SCP-001 in my eyes, and it is my least favorite if I'm being 100% honest. It's definitely very interesting, but I don't like things that are 100% doom and gloom, that there are hardly any ways that you can win or get out of the situation alive. I don't really like downer endings, and unfortunately, SCP-001, which was Dr. Locke's proposal, it's pretty much a downer and nice ASMR in the background. So, yes, When Day Breaks is a proposal by Dr. Locke for SCP-001, and it is essentially a catastrophic event that happens in an alternate timeline, a parallel universe, where the sun turned red and became evil. And horrific things happened. It was mine. Like I said, the sun turned red. It essentially became evil, and anything that the sun rays touched, and that does include the moonlight because moon is just bouncing sun rays off of itself. That's all moonlight is. Any human that came into contact with it, it started melting. Isn't that insane? They started melting and forming into one huge, gross, gelatinous blob, and it just started consuming everything in its sight that was a living entity. So you weren't safe at night because of the moonlight. If it hit you, it could still turn you into one of these things. You weren't safe in the daytime because these things are looking for humans. to devour, and you also weren't safe in any other capacity because of the rogue SCPs that were on the run trying to kill you outside of these gelatinous blobs. Like it's really disheartening, and it's the reason why I not my favorite SCP-001. But it's a very interesting one nonetheless. So to show you the calamity surrounding SCP-001 when day breaks, there are these people in the Foundation called D class, which are essentially ex-criminals. They're usually ex-criminals, ex-convicts who were essentially kidnapped by the Foundation, and the Foundation uses them as experiments to work with the different SCPs to see what the SCP's effect are on those people. They're really just people that they either kidnap, and sometimes they're children, unfortunately. The Foundation does a lot of shady shit in an effort to protect humanity. But there was this one D class, an ex-convict, that they sent out once this event happened, once when daybreaks happened, and they sent out that D class to try to distract one of these congealed monster thingies. So he ran and he was trying to get its attention to take it away from the Foundation facility, and it grabbed his foot and it tried to drag him into itself. And so he shot himself because he would have rather died than to have been a part of this blob. But then it brought him back to life, and then it swallowed him, and then he became a part of the hive mind that was the congealed blob, right? So it's not funny, but it's funny because it's like, goddamn, you can't even escape it with death. There's no way that you can escape an event like that. And like I said, it's such a downer ending because who could be able to survive that? There is an ending that has been I'm not sure if it's official for SCP-001 when day breaks, but there's an ending that has been written about it. I've not read the ending. It's not possible to get away from this. I don't know how in the world they were able to change the sun back if they were. Potentially, there are wish granting SCPs, so hopefully, maybe in that alternate dimension that when daybreak occurs in, somebody was able to make a wish and make the sun return back to normal, and make people come back to normal. But it's a real tragic event, and like I said, my least favorite SCP-001. Death is inescapable. Sunlight will turn you into a melting blob, and unfortunately, it doesn't happen automatically. It's you feel it. You feel like you're burning, and your eyes melt out, and you turn into these blobs, and then you're just melting and globbing on the street until you find another blob and you congeal to make an even bigger blob. So you're just this boneless hive mind creature, and like that sucks, you know?